Hi everyone, it's Deb. Welcome to the Great American Stash Bash. And we post, I think, on the last day of the month, but don't hold me to that. So whenever this is airing, that's when we post. This is an unofficial collaboration hosted by Heather's Handmade Haven. Hi Heather. Several of us are following along with it. She said join in. She's got a theme every month, and February was birthdays. So what we do is on the 10th of the month we do tags, and if you remember, I did these 3 adorable little tags using the Bonanza Buddies stamp set and the coordinating Bonanza dies from Stampin' Up. So I thought, well, I better do a card to go with those, right? So I did one card to go with those, and then I did another card. So here is my card. Oh, and so we do, on the 10th we do tags, and on the last day of the month, I believe, we do cards. Obviously I'm filming this before the last day of the month. Anyway, here's the card I made. I sort of made it be like a peekaboo-ish. I had to put that light up a little. Peekaboo, like I cut out. Okay, here's what I did. I took this piece of designer paper. I took a 1.5 inch circle punch and I cut out 3 circles from the designer paper. Now the flip side of the paper is candles. Let me show that to you. So the front is ice cream cones, right? And the back is candles. So on the inside of the circles I put the candles, and how I did that is I first figured out where I wanted these little critters to be, and then I punched the circles out, and then I just tacked this down with a little bit of snail right here. If you have reusable adhesive or whatever, that would be the best thing, but I just put a little snail right there. And then I placed the cutout parts with the candle side up in those circles. I glued them down. And then I thought, well, it looks kind of bland. So then I decided I needed rings around it. And I thought, oh boy, I don't have a 1 3/4 inch punch. So I got out my layering circles, and amazingly, this one is exactly like the 1.5 inch circle. And this scallop one, oops, fit perfectly around that. So I got lucky and I cut them out. You have to cut them, you know, in your machine like this. That way you just get the border. You do get also 3 circles, you know, but I'll use them for something else. So that's what I used. I used the next to the smallest regular circle and the, I'm going to say, 3rd smallest scallop circle. So those are the layering circles by Stampin' Up. And then I did that in Mango Melody, and then I stamped out the little critters. And now remember, this is not tacked down except for right here, so but the inner parts of the circles are. So then I stamped out all 3 critters that you get in the stamp set: the koala, the lion, and the toucan bird. I guess that's what they're called. That's what I call them. And I colored his beak. I stamped this in Daffodil Delight and Mango Melody because those are colors in here. And this guy's in Smoky Slate and Pretty Peacock for his hat. And I did use the little pom-poms. That was the last thing that went on. These are unfortunately not orderable right now. They've been so popular. Then I die cut them each, and then I tucked them under here like they were peeking out from these circles, and I just put dimensionals on the top parts of them. And same for the little hat. And then this guy, I actually had this already cut out in my stash, and it is the hang on, trying to figure out what punch. I think it is this one. I think it is the Timeless Label punch. I don't know, that doesn't look right, does it? Anyway, yeah, I can't figure out which punch it is. I think it's the Timeless Label punch. So I had it here anyway. I stamped "Let's Celebrate You" because it's several of them, so they're all saying "Let us celebrate you," right? This actually is a piece of crushed curry seam binding, crinkled seam binding that's left over from the 2019 holiday catalog. I don't think that's available anymore. So anyway, I tucked them in. Well, first I glued these rims down. Then I went back and tucked them in. And then I kind of lifted up the edges and took my wet glue and went around and glued the piece down permanently. And then I did go around this with Pretty Peacock Stampin' Write marker brush end just to make it pop a little bit. And I did bump that up on dimensionals because, you know, 2 cans up. But it looks like he's holding it in his beak, so I thought that was kind of cute. And then I put a pom-pom here and a pom-pom where the lion's tail would go. And then inside I just used another sheet of the ice cream paper and stamped "Happy Birthday" in Mango Melody. So that is the first card that I did. Cute, cute, and it goes with the tags. Although I used smoky slate instead of, I used crumb cake on this one because of the ice cream cone bottoms are crumb cake. So similar, but not exact, right? Anyway, so I did that. And then the next one, I wanted to use this Celebration "Happy Birthday to You" stamp. There are this is Celebration. You can get this stamp set for $50 worth of merchandise ordered. Then you could order this free. So I got this, but they right now have Celebration coordination, and there are dies that you can get. You have to purchase them to go with this. If you got the Celebration "Happy Birthday to You" stamp set with the beautiful cake, which also coordinated with this month's February's paper pumpkin kit, by the way, then you could buy the dies and you could actually cut the cake out. I didn't have them and I didn't feel like fussy cutting, so I had these frames left over from, I think, doing the paper pumpkin alternatives. The Sweetly Stitch So Sweetly, hang on. Yes, Stitch So Sweetly dies that has the scallop rectangle kind of things. So I had actually 3 pieces of white border, and I went around it with Blushing Bride Stampin' Write on the inside and the outside. I stamped the cake in Smoky Slate, and then I colored it in Smoky Slate Light and Dark. Pool Party Light only. I was trying to make it be like white icing, but I ended up being Light Pool Party. And then these are actually Flirty Flamingo in Stampin' Blends because we don't have Blushing Bride. And I believe these are Light Daffodil Delight. And this is Old Olive Light and Dark. So I just colored them in. I bumped this whole thing up on this foam tape. Look, I'm almost done it. 1 roll of it. I still have another huge roll. And then I stamped Celebrate in Smoky Slate. I stamped it on a 2-inch circle punch paper in Whisper White, 2-inch circle. And I cut out a piece of Blushing Bride with the Starburst punch, which is about 2 1/8 inch. Put them, I just glued them on because the whole thing's already bumped up. And then I just used some of the metallic pearls in silver and plunked a few of them down. Oh, and in the background, I have a piece of the Designer Series paper for the subtles. The piece that has this diamond shaped stuff and the gingham on the other side, but I went with the diamonds this time because I just wanted a little something. And then that's I had an extra piece, and that's what I put inside. I did not put the Happy Birthday in there because I'm not sure I want to use it as a birthday card. I mean, this could be for a wedding or anything. Not that I know anybody getting married except for one person who just did. So anyway, yeah, so that's my second card. So I hope you enjoyed the Great American Stash Bash. Go check out Heather, and I know a couple other people that are playing along, and I will try and link them down below, but there's no formal link list. Actually, the easiest thing to do is just type in hashtag the Great American Stash Bash, and you'll find whoever's posted anything that remember to use the hashtag, you will find them, okay? Or you could just type in the Great American Stash Bash in YouTube and see what comes up. But there may be people doing it not on YouTube. I don't know. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you the next time. Hugs, love, and peace.